Hi everyone, this is Rick here in the studio. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Rick Surowitz Watercolor. Once again this year I'm publishing a series of holiday card videos for the project page of my website. This will be the fourth year that I've done this, and if you go to the project page on my website you'll find the series for each of the 4 years. And for each card on the project page you'll find a link for the image of the card that I've painted, a template you can use for a drawing, and a link to each video. And you can find the link to that project page in the description of this video. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can click on the link in the lower right hand corner, and don't forget to like it. Okay, so now we're ready to work on this holiday card, and you're looking at the template of these 3 trees for this card, and you'll find that on the project page of my website, and you can find the links in the description of this video. And what I'm going to do is I do on a lot of these holiday cards that I do, I'm going to splatter some masking fluid. So I'm taking a damp toothbrush, dipping it in a jar of masking fluid, and then I'm just going to splatter. I'm going to pull back the bristles and just splatter it kind of generously. And I'm also going to hit it on my hand, which produces bigger droplets. And sometimes I'll target that area. If I feel I'm not getting enough there, I'll get close to it, splatter it. I want to make sure I get a little bit on this tree and that tree. All right, so I've got that splatter on there, and I'm also going to take a little bit with a fine line kind of bottle here and just put some snow area where I want to just show snow kind of piled on this tree. And I'm not going to do it to the other 2. I just want those to kind of be in the distance and not a lot going on other than more the silhouette. But on this one, I want it close to us in the foreground. I want to have the impression that we can see some of this snow on it. And that's it. So now I'm just going to let that air dry, and then I'll be ready to paint. Okay, so everything's dry and we're ready to begin painting. And I'm going to start with the trees. And this is a fairly simple holiday card. I'm using sap green. I'm going to put a little permanent green in this. And this one's going to be a little brighter up here than these 2. These will be cooler and a little more neutral. So I'm going to paint this one more as a kind of a bright wintry tree. And I've got, remember, I've got masking fluid on this, so it's going to look like there's snow laying on this. I will put in another color or another shade of green into this to give it a little bit more. So I'm going to take a little alizarin, mix that into that green. That turns it a little more neutral. I need to get just a little bit more. So this is wet, and I'm dropping this, this more neutral mixture in. Okay, and now I'm going to paint these into this, and I'm going to make them a little cooler. So I'm going to take some royal blue and just mix it to what I have here, and maybe a little more. There's a little too much alizarin. Took a little bit too much out of that well. I'm going to mix that in here. That'll make this move this more towards neutral, but I still want this to be pretty cool. More of a blue-green. That's closer to what I'm looking for. I'm using a quill brush that I like to use. So you can see that's a cooler, more neutral green. It's probably enough, although these trees are a little too much the same height and everything. I'm going to modify that just a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna dry that. Then I'm gonna put a larger wash on this. Okay, now I'm gonna clean this off my palette. And I'm going to put a wash on the sky of this. It's going to be more of a violet, red violet. So I'm going to go back to my wash brush here. And we'll take some ultramarine blue, I think. There we go. Ultramarine blue there, a little bit here. I'm going to rinse my brush out, take some alizarin crimson. Now I get a red violet. So, and this, I'm going to add a little bit of that alizarin crimson, not a lot. I want this to be more of a violet, blue violet type tone. And this I want just a little bit redder. That's probably still a little too much red. That's pretty good. So we'll start with, I want to be a little darker though. Got a lot of water in there pretty quick. So we'll start with this. Let's see how that goes. That's pretty good. So I've got this violet. I'm going to take some of the red violet. And let's see, we'll take the violet. Absorbs pretty quickly on this. Got a little green in that. So you do have to kind of work quick with this cardstock. See if I save that enough. Okay, get the outline of that, then I'll go with my bigger brush. Kind of a forgiving subject with the textures and the snow flying. It doesn't really matter if you get some, you know, some of this going on. It actually adds to it, I think. Okay, I'll pick up the excess here before it starts to wick back up into this. A little extra moisture there. Okay, so now I'm going to take my 8 round brush, I think. Let's see. No, I'm going to stay with my wash brush. Make sure I have some red violet here. Okay, so now a little of this blue. And I'm going to take some of the red violet into this. I'll bring this out to a little bit of a point. All right. Lift out this extra moisture again. And now I'm going to dry it. So it's dry and I'm ready to just take off the masking fluid. And now I have my snowy day, and if there's an area where a mark from the masking that doesn't look quite right, I can just come and touch it up a little bit. That was a little kind of big. All right, so now just take off the tape. You could leave a little bit more of the white of the snow in here if you wanted. Actually probably covered a little bit more than what I was going to, but that looks fine. These little cards are kind of forgiving, all the little textures and things just to add interest. So there you go, you can see the little white border around it. A little card, just a little, winter scene with a couple trees there and some snow on it. So I hope you enjoy working on this one.